Oh, what's up, everybody? And welcome to the Virtual Cafe. I am your host, Oscar Tsukayama, but I'm also your waiter to cater you through this evening of this great performances we have prepared for you tonight. And if you didn't know, it is May 2nd, and it is officially Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month, or you can call it AAPI for short. And it's also what I like to think of it as Asian American Pacific Islander Appreciation Month. We're here to appreciate our community. We're here to empower each other. And because we've seen so much news about hate towards our Asian community, our Asian American community, and it's time that we start appreciating each other. We turn a little bit of a shift, and instead of focusing on the hate, we focus on the love that we can give to each other. We can empower each other and face this ignorance with love. And this is how we can change the world through this specific live stream you are watching right now. Thank you for being here. We have prepared such a phenomenal group of people to perform tonight. We have phenomenal performances, we have great interviews, and hopefully, there would be some very bad jokes throughout the process given to yourself by me. Anyways, I am just, I'm standing on the shoulder of a giant here because I am just a host. I could not have done this by myself. This is basically all put together by our boy Jepoy Ramos. Jeffrey for short, or there we go. Look at him.
What's up? Hey, Oscar.
What's up,
Great
man?
to
I saw
have
you in
you.
the green room a second ago.
Oh yeah, I was everywhere, man, today. But I am so excited for today's event. We've gathered over 20 of our favorite AAPI performers, not only here in the Bay Area, but around the United States. And man, we have a treat for you today.
Nah, you're about to be blown away with these performances. But Jepoy, let's break it down real quick. I am Oscar. I am he, him, his, and I am 100% half Okinawan. I am Okinawan, but I'm from Oakland. Jepoy, tell me a little about yourself, man.
Hey, I'm Jepoy Ramos. I grew up in the Philippines. Filipino there. Yeah, I represent. I moved here in the Bay Area in 2007. I joked around saying I was a fop, fresh off the plane for the first few years. And yeah, throughout the past decade or so, I've been here in the Bay Area performing and making connections with a lot of our friends who you will be seeing perform today.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of, what is our first performance, man?
Well, our first performance is something special. So, as you know, this concert was conceived because of the recent AAPI hate that has happened to our community. So, we developed this concert in order to uplift, amplify our voices, but at the same time help our community. So, a few Thursdays ago, I went to BEC or Bayanihan Equity Center here in San Francisco. I volunteered, helped pack some goods, and interviewed some of the folks from there. And from there, we got inspired and we decided to collaborate on a video. So I called on my AAPI friends from the Bay Area, and we created this wonderful video, which will open our show today.
Let's go.
You
Let's
ready,
see
Oscar?
this new day dawn. Let's see
Let's
the new
see
day
this new day dawn.
Jepoy.
Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, here is BEC and a collaboration of Bay Area artists.
I'm Mary
Here.
Roque. I am with the Bayanihan Equity Center, and BEC was founded in December 1999 to serve Filipino World War II veterans and their families. However, as our services expanded, so did our clients. So currently, we serve San Francisco seniors and adults with disabilities, and we are located in the south of Market in San Francisco. and we continue to serve folks through case management, social services, and food access. So at the BEC, we highly incorporate our Filipino values into the work that we do. We are guided at BEC by our Filipino values such as Bayanihan, or working together for a common purpose to serve the community. And also with respecting our elders, we were founded to serve Filipino veterans and continue to serve seniors and adults with disabilities. So we continue to hold those values and have it guide us in the work that we do every day. We at BEC host a food distribution every single Thursday. So if you're interested in getting involved, you can visit our website at sfbec.org and fill out our volunteer form, or you can also call our office at 415-255-2347. We're more than happy to have you join us and help out the community.
We need some light. First of all, we need some light. You can't sit here in the dark and all alone. It's a sorry sight. It's just you and me. We'll live, you'll see.
Night after night, we'd sit and wait for the morning light. But we've waited far too long for all that's wrong to be made right.
Day after day, wishing all our cares away, trying to fight the things we feel, but some hurts never heal.
Some ghosts are never gone, but we go on. We still go on.
And you find some way to survive, and you find out you don't have to be happy at all to be happy or alive. Day after day, give me clouds and rain and gray. Give me pain if that's what's real.
It's the price we pay to feel.
The price of love is lost, but still we pay.
We love anyway.
And when the night is finally gone, and when we see the new day dawn, we wonder how we wandered for so long, so blind. The wasted world we thought we knew, the light will make it all brand new. So let it, let it, let it shine, shine, shine. Day after day, we'll find a will to find our way, knowing that the darkest skies will someday see the sun.
When our long night is done, there will be light.
There will be
There will be light. When we open up our lives, sons and daughters, husbands, wives, and fight that fight. There will be light. There will be light. There will be light.
There will be light, J-Por.
Just want to give a shout out to all those who were involved in that number: Danny Mendoza, RB, Vinh, Tony, who else? Oscar
Who?
and Perry Eliado, and of course we want to thank BEC and Mary Roque for granting us the opportunity to work together. Again, if you want to volunteer or donate, please visit sfbec.org. Again, that's sfbec.org. I also put a donation thingy on my Facebook page, so if you want to donate, please feel free to click on that link on my Facebook page.
No,
Anyway,
definitely.
Oscar. Yeah.
I mean, BEC was just so inspiring. It was just so nice to hear just like all the amazing things they're doing for the community. And thank you for going out and supporting as well, dude. That's awesome. You were doing something good today. I don't know if you can read that. You were doing something good today because you can make a difference. Do you see this
Yes.
awesome sweater?
Dude, we can make a difference, and by doing small acts of kindness, even though that small movements, it can create a big ripple effect and can make a difference in people's lives. And by doing this concert, I hope we can reach out to someone out there and make a difference in their lives.
Right? Well, I mean,
Anyway,
exactly. But I mean, yes, of course, everything you said, 1000%. But I just want to give a shout out to this amazing clothing company. Look at this. What these beanies? 1-8? Who that? You know them better than I do. I just
yeah,
rock their
1-8
clothing because it's
clothing.
comfortable and dope.
Yep,
Tell me about it.
Yeah, so 1-8 Clothing is a local AAPI owned clothing line or clothing store or whatever, but they're a clothing business based here in Daly City, and they produce like awesome sweatshirts, hoodies, and other outfit stuff. And what's good about them is they donate their portion of their profit to a school and church back in the Philippines. So if you're ever in the lookout for some good sweaters, come visit 1-8 Clothing on their Instagram page or website. Anyway,
they are
Oscar.
warm. They are cozy. You should get one of these sweaters. They're really nice.
All right, let's segue back to our performances. So,
Okay.
for our first group of performers, these are some SF Bay Area folks and some friends from outside the state. So they used to be from San Francisco, but are now exploring other avenues in other states. So here is
It's
a
all good.
performance. Yeah, it's all good, right? So
They
here
got
are
those Bay Area roots. Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, representing always Bay Area. So for our first set of performers, I'd like to present to you Entang Evangelista, who's now in Houston, Leilani Zaragoza, Jasmine Pritchard, Casey De La Cruz and Bryan Munar, Red Concepción, and Marah Sotelo. Ready for this, Oscar?
I don't know. Just do it. Let's see what happens.
Wake up, the sun cannot wait for long. Reach out before it fades away. You will find the warmth when you surrender. Smile into the fear and let it play. When you stand up and hold on, so strong. Time just carries on. And all that you thought was wrong is pure again. You can't hide forever from the thunder. Look into the storm and feel the rain. You wanna run away, and you say that it can't be so. You wanna look away, but you stay 'cause it's so close. When you stand up and hold out your hand in the face of what I don't understand, my reason to be brave. When you stand up and hold out your hand in the face of what I don't understand, my reason to be brave.
Why you look so sad? Tears are in your eyes. Come on and talk to me now. Don't be ashamed to cry. Let me see you through. 'Cause I've seen the dark side too. When the night falls on you, you don't know what to do. Nothing you confess can make me love you less. I'll stand by you. I'll stand by you. Won't let nobody hurt you. I'll stand by you. So if you're mad, get mad. Don't hold it all inside. Come on and talk to me now. Hey, what you got to hide? I get angry too. Well, I'm a lot like you. When you're standing at the crossroads, you don't know which path to choose. Let me come along. 'Cause even if you're wrong, I'll stand by you. I'll stand by you. I won't let nobody hurt you. I'll stand by you. Take me into your darkest hour, and I'll never desert you. I'll stand by you. And when the night falls on you, baby, you're feeling all alone. face, know your place. Shut up and smile, don't spread your legs. I could do that, but no one knows me, no one ever will. If I don't say something, if I just lie still, would I be that monster? Would they run away? If I let them hear what I have to say, 'cause I can't keep quiet. No, no, I can't keep quiet. No, oh, one woman riot. No, no, I can't keep quiet for anyone, not anymore. 'Cause no one knows me, no one ever will. If I don't say something, take that dry blue pill. They may see that monster, they may run away, but I have to do it anyway, 'cause I can't keep quiet. No, no, I can't keep quiet. No, a one woman riot. No, no, I can't keep quiet. There'll be someone who understands. No, must be someone who understands. Ooh, 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 ooh. 'Cause I can't keep quiet. No, no, I can't keep quiet. No, oh, one woman riot. No, I can't keep quiet for anyone, not anymore.
I fell in love with the only girl who knows what I'm about.
I fell in love with a boy and I can't tell if I fell out. After all is said and done, I can't just pretend I'm moving on.
Is it just a part we're playing? 'Cause it don't feel like we're faking. When we're underneath the lights, my heart's no longer broken. For a moment, just for a moment. When we're singing side by side, there's so much left unspoken. For a moment, just for a moment. A moment in love, a moment in love. But is a moment enough? Way back then, always dreamed it's you and me until the end. Now we can't play pretend, and I'm scared to talk to my best friend. Should I stay and let you go? Will you love me when the curtains close? Is it just a part we're playing? 'Cause Cause it don't feel like we're faking. When we're underneath the lights, my heart's no longer broken. For a moment, just for a moment. When we're singing side by side, there's so much left unspoken. For a moment, just for a moment. A moment in love, a moment in love. But is a moment enough?
Maybe your heart still stops when you see me. Maybe it's worth another try. Better place, better time.
When we're underneath the lights, my heart's no longer broken. For a moment, just for a moment. When we're singing side by side, there's so much left unspoken. For a moment, just for a moment. A moment in love, a moment in love. Oh, but is a moment enough? When we're underneath the lights, my heart's no longer broken. For a moment, just for a moment.
I've got a roof over my head. I've got a warm place to sleep. Sometimes I lie awake counting gifts instead of counting sheep. I've got a heart that can hold love. I've got a mind that can think. There may be times when I lose the light and let my spirit sink, but I can't stay depressed when I remember how I'm blessed. Grateful, grateful, truly grateful I am. Grateful, grateful, truly blessed and duly grateful. In the city of strangers, I've got a family and friends. No matter what rocks and brambles fill my way, I know that they will stay until the end. I feel a hand over my hand. It's not a hand you can see, but on the road to the promised land, this hand will shepherd me through delight and despair, holding close and always there. Grateful, grateful, truly grateful I am. Grateful, grateful, truly blessed and duly grateful. It's not that I don't want a lot, or hope for more, or dream of more, but giving thanks for what I've got makes me happier than keeping score in a world that can bring pain. I
I can still take each chance. For I believe that no matter the terrain, our feet can learn to dance. Whatever stone life may sling, we can moan or we can sing. Grateful, truly grateful I am. Oh, grateful, grateful, truly blessed and duly grateful. Truly blessed and duly grateful.
Sorry, folks, we're having some technical difficulties. I'll be here shortly. Oscar, do you want to entertain our folks by
Um, yeah. Hey, folks, welcome to the show. Yo, we have been getting such love throughout the comments. Thank you. Like, these performers are phenomenal, hands down, no doubt. But the comments are just like adding to such of the great energy and love that we need in our community. So much love to all that. And let's be real, AAPI hate is not a new thing. It's been brewing up for a long time. And let's be real, like Atlanta was like a huge, terrible thing that happened that brought it to the forefront. And but even before Atlanta, we can look into San Francisco, Japantown. In January, we had our cherry blossoms just sawed off completely. And we all know how beautiful cherry blossoms are and how special the Cherry Blossom Festival is to the Japanese community. So we know this is not new things. We know that AAPI hate has been happening for not only years, generations, decades. So we're just trying to make a little spin on that because let's be real, these performances are just so beautiful. Who is some great ones up here? I mean, Casey De La Cruz and Bryan Munar were pretty phenomenal. If I do, they were. I love their set too, not just their singing set, but like where they were. And then who was that live performer who had like what was that instrument? It was so
Oh,
beautiful.
Jasmine Pritchard. Jasmine. Oh my gosh. I've known Jasmine since college, back in Ateneo in Manila. And when she moved here in the Philippines back in 2008, she was like my neighbor. So we go way back. And if you don't know this cool info about Jasmine, she owns a vocal and performing studio in San Francisco called Songrise Studios. So if you're ever in need for voice lessons, music lessons, feel free to check out her website at Songrise Studios, and she will make sure that you can sing just as beautiful as she does.
Amazing.
I, I
How's
think it's
that?
called an
How's that
auto
next
harp.
video?
The instrument that she was playing is called an auto harp.
Got you. Okay.
Yes. By the way, I just want to say thank you to our performers in the first batch. Entang Evangelista singing "Brave" by Joe Scroban. Leilani Zaragoza singing "I'll Stand by You." Oh my gosh, I know Leilani's parents, and I've known Leilani since she was like 7, 8 years old, and now she's like in college. Time flies by so fast, and look how great she's become, and I can't wait for the future. Also, a big shout out to Red Concepcion. I've known Red for a long time. We've done shows in the Philippines, and then he moved here in the US because he played the engineer in the national tour of Miss Saigon. So, and I'm like, oh my
Whatever.
god. Anyway,
Who do we got
Oscar,
next?
we got next is Marah Sotelo and Chris Sotelo.
Oh my goodness.
It's gonna be lit, but I'm just waiting for the file again because again, I guess StreamYard has a 1 GB limit, and the file that they produced was so beautiful that it was like 2 gigs big, and it can't
Isn't
do
I
it.
mean,
But
isn't Chris like a phenomenal cinematographer?
dude, he is, and
So when that uploads, it sounds like we're in for a treat, basically, is what you're saying. This is like the part of the movie where it's like there's all this suspenseful music happening. Like, are they going to go into open the closet where the people are hiding in? Are we going to see Marah and Chris do a phenomenal performance? It's coming up. We know that, it's going to happen, but this is our suspenseful music right here. It's not as great, I guess, as a blockbuster film, but we are trying our best through this virtual cafe. In the meantime, can I take anyone's drinks out there?
Yeah.
No? Okay, whatever.
Well, it is a cafe, Oscar, so maybe you can go in the chat section and interact with the folks while I share with you an interview I did with Chris and Marah, and we talk about the song that she's about to perform and how we believe that hashtag representation matters. So without further ado, while we wait for the performance to load, here is Marah and Chris interview that we did earlier. Wow, Marah, what an amazing performance. Why did you choose the song and how does it empower you?
Mainly because of the lyrics, it speaks about hope, courage, pride, and especially with, the theme of this concert, I just thought, it would be super appropriate. I really wanted something that would uplift our community, encourage us. And again, speaking about pride, the song really talks about, owning who you are.
So Chris and Marah, if you were given millions of dollars, what kind of stories would you like seen on stage, in movies that represent us?
And I can count on my hand how many times I saw a Filipino in a role being Filipino. Now, we've seen Filipinos in roles, but have we seen Filipinos in roles being Filipino? When we think about The Yellow Rose that recently came out, that was about Filipinos, right? Filipino people playing Filipinos. And I think that is so important. Right? We have Fresh Off the Boat, which was the Chinese version, but we got our own Fresh Off the Boat for Pinoys, right? There are some very specific cuts, the videos that I produce or I want to produce. If I produced it, one of the things I want to make known is that, yes, a Filipino filmmaker made this. And why? It's just important that people can see and understand that specific cut of talent.
Well, thank you so much, Marah and Chris, for sharing your insights and sharing your talent. As you know, folks, that video that Marah just performed in was produced and edited by Chris. And Marah, thank you so much again for enlightening a wonderful, wonderful talent.
It's our pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you, Jipoy.
Thank you.
Do you ever feel like a plastic bag drifting through the wind, wanting to start again? Do you ever feel so paper thin, like a house of cards, wind blow from caving in? Do you ever feel already buried deep, 6 feet under, scream that no one seems to hear a thing? Do you know that there's still a chance for you, 'cause there's a spark in you? You just gotta ignite the light and let it shine. Just on the night, like the 4th of July. Baby, you're a firework. Come and show 'em what you're worth. Make 'em go ah, 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 as you shoot across the sky. To feel like a waste of space, you're original, cannot be replaced. If you only knew what the future holds after a hurricane comes a rainbow, maybe a reason why All the doors are closed, so you could open one that leads you to the perfect road. Like a lightning bolt, your heart will glow, and when it's time you'll know. You just gotta ignite the light and let it shine. Just on the night like the 4th of July. 'Cause baby, you're a firework. Come and show 'em what you're worth. Make 'em go ah, 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 as you shoot across the sky. Baby, you're a firework. Come on, let your colors burst. Make 'em go ah, ah, ah. You're gonna leave 'em all in ah, ah, ah. Boom, boom, boom. Even brighter than the moon, moon, moon. It's always been inside of you, you, you. And now it's time to light it through. Ooh, 'cause baby, you're a firework. Come on, show 'em what you're worth. Make 'em go ah, 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 as you shoot across the sky. Baby, you're a firework. Come on, let your colors burst. Make 'em go ah, ah, ah. You're gonna leave 'em all in ah, ah, ah. Boom, boom, boom. It's even brighter than the moon, moon, moon. It's always been inside of you, you, you. And now it's time to let it through, through, through.
Oh, oh my goodness. That was sung beautifully, and that was just beautiful shots, and it was just so much love in that. You could tell, the guy behind the camera is like the husband to the person's. Oh my guys, that was so gorgeous. If there was a reaction video, because right before technical difficulties, freaking out, and then that played. I just kept on going back, and it was just phenomenal. Like Japoy, like man, I I I don't even know how to react to this. That was so freaking amazing. But
Oh my god, man. It was so good. Like it was like Bryan says on the chat says it's like a legit music video production. Trixie says, so beautifully amazing. Good job, Marah and Chris. It was so good that it even crashed my StreamYard stream. That's why it's like it couldn't handle it.
it was worth the wait. It was worth that very suspenseful scene of us cracking the bad jokes like I promised earlier. Hey, we did keep a promise. Okay. But
We
yeah,
did.
that was awesome. That was great to see from our community. But what's next? Actually, I just want to shout out a really cool company I'm wearing, the Japanese American National Museum. We need to learn about other cultures. We need to learn about our own cultures. So might as well utilize the museums that really focus on the heritage of Japanese American. Like, well, I'm Japanese American, so I focus that. But if you're not Japanese American, look for a museum about yourself. It's going to teach you so much, or I hope it does, because it taught me a lot. So yeah, shout out Japanese American National Museum. Oh, and the 442nd, because yeah. Anyways, that's for a different stream here and there. We're gonna go on to our next segment, which is all based around original musicals.
Oh,
Right?
yes. Oh my gosh, how we got a treat for you, Oscar. I was talking to a bunch of our guest performers, and one of our questions that we've been asking them is like, what do you want to see produced? And we can start by writing our own stories, and a set of next performers will be presenting music based on original composition written by AAPI composers and musicians. The first song will be performed by Chau-Chiu, It is called Remarkable from the Four Immigrants by Bay Area native and local Bay Area performer, author, composer, all-around guy, Min Khan. If you don't mind, I'll just read his profile. Min Khan is an award-winning Bay Area playwright, composer, lyricist, and creative coach whose work include The Four Immigrants, which won so many awards here in the Bay Area, Gold, the Midas musical, which I saw in what's that? SFBA. What's that? Children's Theater. I forgot. Oh my god. She's got Nina. Hi Nina. She owns that company in Berkeley, and Ben also wrote a Nightingale. What was that? The Song of the Nightingale, which was produced in the East Bay a few years ago. Our next performer after Ben is Bryan Pangilinan. His song is Where I Wanna Be from Larry the Musical. So Larry the Musical is about the life of Filipino-American labor leader Larry Itilong and his work to help form the United Farm Workers. It is co-composed by Gail Romansanta and Bryan Pangilinan and is scheduled to premiere on October 2023 at Brava Theater in San Francisco. Please note that this is a historic and empowering movement as this musical is produced and will feature 100% Filipino American team and is being developed in partnership with Broadway Barcadas and Brava Theater.
That's incredible.
It's incredible, but a virtual workshop performance will be held on October 2021 featuring Filipino American artists from the East and West Coast. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to see that. Bryan, thank you for introducing it to us. And by the way, the theater where Gold Midas the musical was performed in and which won the Bay Area Theater Area Award is Bay Area Children's Theater, BACT.
Oh, of course.
Shout out to BACT. I know a bunch of our audience are performers from that theater. Hey Juan, hey Amanda. Sorry for butchering their names earlier, but Nina, hope you can forgive me.
Yeah, I think we both worked there, right, boy? I think we both worked with there.
Yes, I worked there.
Awesome.
I worked there. I did a show called You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown, and I'll show it her. And thank you so much, Nina and BACT, for providing opportunities for us AAPI performers here in the Bay Area and producing stories, which is very universal.
And also just giving opportunities to AAPI teaching artists, or BIPOC teaching artists as well, because that's how we continue to teach these lessons to the future generations through theater. And so we appreciate you guys for representing us in all types of different areas that you work in.
Correct. Yes, BACT. Thank you for the support. And lastly, before we move to the next performance, after Bryan will be Casey De La Cruz. She will be performing the language lesson or Kilig, written by Mr. Paulo K. Tirol from the musical On This Side of the World. It's an amazing piece, and it's still being developed together with Mr. Noam Shapiro. So without further ado,
that's awesome.
It's awesome.
That's awesome. But I mean, I'm kind of sad. It sounds like Casey and Bryan are breaking up the band. It sounds like Casey's going solo for this next video.
Oh, I know, man. But it's all for a good cause and to share stories written by a fellow Filipino immigrant.
Yes.
So are you ready? Are you ready for these original pieces?
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Yeah, we're ready.
Let's
go. Let's do this.
All right, let's go. Theater, you guys help us. All right, let's go. Sorry, folks. Tech difficulties, as you know, with current times. We're our own tech directors, our own artists, and
live theater.
Live theater. You're right. Okay.
But let's go. Okay. See, I'm not the technical genius. Oh.
Notice his head drooping, notice the horse stooping, notice the spear pointing toward a canyon unseen. A people pushed to the edge, captured in this one scene. Fall or jump off the ledge, there's no in-between. That is the wonder of art. Whether you're servant or whether you're king, when a great artist imparts what he's feeling and shows you something remarkable, how beauty can surface from such despair, compelling one person to sit and stare and see something remarkable, incomparable. The murals and statues around the fair, each one a creation remarkable to share with all of the world. Wonder if I'm that good, wonder if my hands could craft something so marvelous and rare to behold. They say my paintings are nothing new and nothing bold. No captivating point of view, or so I'm told. Should I just play Japanese? Beyond painted screens, is there more I can bring? My odd sense of humor and these silly drawings amount to nothing remarkable. If I took what's inside me and laid it bare, would they simply deride me or even care? Would they call me remarkable? Impossible to know if my wager was worth the dare, to know if I've something remarkable to share with all of the world. I've got to find something remarkable, remarkable to share with the world.
Too smart, that's what they call me. Don't be stubborn, Larry, you'll never break the mold. They say I'm much too loud here in the barrio, say you'll never break free. Just stay here and do what you're told, 'cause living in America is where I wanna be. Wanna be really me, finally you see, in the land of the free. Living in America is where I wanna be. Wanna be really me, finally you'll see. Across the seas is where I wanna be. And oh, la 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 la. Tito told me about the farms in Hawaii. I can finish high school and college quickly. When I graduate, I'll be a lawyer with a suit and briefcase. Don't call me Mr. Larry, sir, 'cause living in America is where I wanna be. Wanna be really me, finally you will see, in the land of the free. 'Cause living in America is where I wanna be. Wanna be really me, finally you will see. Across the seas is where I wanna be. Determined and dignified, find my way, I have to try. Don't stop me, can't make me stay. I will make my my way somehow. Doctor, can't you see me now? I'll fly away. Found a boat and take me there, and I want no time to spare. Release me, I'll make my way. I don't need your permission. Getting there is my mission. Just watch me, I'm going anyway. Oh, oh, la 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 la. Oh, I'm doing this all dahil sa'yo. 'Cause living in America is where I wanna be. Wanna be is where I want to be.
Hey everyone, this is Paolo Caterol, composer and lyricist of the musical On the Side of the World. In On the Side of the World, I draw on my experience as a Filipino immigrant in the US to show different facets of the Filipino-American immigrant experience. And what I've loved about writing this show is being able to portray Filipino-Americans, Asian Americans, and immigrants with depth and dimension and individuality. A lot of time, I think, people outside of these communities can see these communities as just like homogenous blobs. And to be able to show the individuality of people within these communities has just been very rewarding to me.
You know that feeling when someone you like is nearby, and a ticklish, tingling, trembling begins when they look you in the eye, and the butterflies in your stomach start to lift you off the ground. Deep inside you can't stop screaming still. There's not the slightest sound, and the smile in your heart is 1,000 times bigger than a smile could ever be. That's kilig, as we say in Filipino. You know how music starts to play when she brushes your hand, how you start to stutter and sputter and shudder and say stupid things you hadn't planned. It's the room insanely spinning, it's the shivers down your spine, it's the jumble of sensations you can't even hope to define. And your brain is exploding, it's driving you crazy, you wish that it would end. Yet you never want to lose it. Like the sweetest, stickiest glue, kilig is the stuff that's got me stuck on. Keep it coming, let the feeling stay, and let it keep on humming, let the music play, and crash around me, drown me till I'm intoxicated, inebriated. I'm all fixated on. You know what's funny? I never thought I'd find it here. Never thought in this land of the strangest of strangers, kilig would appear. But here it is, stronger than it's ever been. So strong that though my country's halfway round the planet from here, I'm feeling quite at home. And for someone who's only just learning its meaning, you're awesome at causing kilig. Yes, you. Well, that took some explaining.
Thank you, Ben Chau-Chiu, who performed Remarkable from the Four Immigrants, written by Min Kang, local Bay Area playwright. The world, I don't know if it's a world premiere, but it's a premiere performance or a preview for Larry the Musical by Bryan Pangilinan singing the song Where I Wanna Be. And lastly, Casey de la Cruz performing the language lesson, Kilig or Giddy, featuring Mr. John Florencio from the musical On This Side of the World, written by Paolo Caterol and developed with Mr. Noah Shapiro. All right, next performance will be a live performance, and here is Oscar to talk more about this.
Well, I'm just so caught up with those last performances. To be honest, Ben's shirt, I'm proud of. I'm just proud to be Asian. Then Bryan's energy, and then Casey's voice. It's like it's so important to have like representation and like shows and whatnot. And in fact, I'm not wearing a show shirt, but I'm wearing an EBYAL, East Bay Youth Athletic League. I used to play basketball for this league that's we refer to as the Asian or the Japanese League, which was I played for the Buddhist Church of Oakland, and it was founded post World War II after the Japanese internment. And it was founded because we were still being segregated and we were still being like not accepted into different communities. Organizations like this allowed people like Jeremy Lin to play in very similar basketball leagues growing up on the peninsula in San Francisco. And so if we didn't have shirts like this, we wouldn't know who Jeremy Lin is. And because we're talking to musical theater people, you probably don't know who Jeremy Lin is. Jeremy Lin is in the first place. He is an Asian basketball player. There's a lot more Asian basketball players coming up. And so we can see that because of organizations like this, we can create excellence. So why can't we do the same with roles in musicals and theater and entertainment? And so our next live guest, our first live performance of the night, are about to share an awesome experience from their Asian American Pacific Islander musical. Come on down. Or come on in. There we go.
Hi, Oscar. Hi, Jet Boy.
Hi,
Hey,
Oscar.
guys.
Boy. So good to see you.
No,
So
yeah.
it's on Facebook,
It's
and I
this,
messaged him.
this is honestly it was so nuts because Jordan and I were the co-writers of the show Bake the Musical, and we had just kind of released a set of demos that we put on SoundCloud, and I posted on some Asian Creative Network, which is a like a large Facebook group for a lot of Asian creative folks, and Boy just reached out to me and was like, "Hey, like, do you want to do this thing?" And I was like, yeah, sure. It's super random, but I'm down. But it turns out I've been watching all these performances. Everyone has just been so amazing.
Yeah, it's so good.
I mean, obviously the last two songs in musical theater close to my heart, but it's just, I mean, I'm trying to stop being overwhelmed by how much talent is on this call.
So,
Well, I mean, you guys are about to add to it as well. I mean, you guys have quite the performance ahead of us.
yeah, we're going to perform a song from Bake the Musical. We're going to accompany it live. So we've got a piano right here. You should be maybe hearing it from Deepak's end, or you'll hear it when we do it. But before that, Deepak, do you want to talk a little bit about the show?
Yeah, absolutely. So, Bake the Musical is a story that follows Jane Huang. She's a high school Chinese American student who has it all, is hardworking, has loving parents, a great best friend, and most importantly, admission to her dream school, which is Harvard in the fall. But there's one hiccup. Her family doesn't have the money to send her to school. And so at the first scene of the show, she's waiting to hear about this scholarship that will determine whether or not she goes to Harvard. And you learn, it's not really a spoiler because it's scene one, that she doesn't get the scholarship. But instead of coming clean to her parents and telling them and saying, okay, let's figure out how to work on this together, she lies to her parents and says that she did get the scholarship. And so now she has to figure out how to make all of that money in one summer before she goes to school. So she does what any young, enterprising Asian American would do. She teams up with her best friend and the school drug dealer and launches a massive drug empire, organized to the T. And that's the pitch for Bake the Musical.
Totally.
In the show, it ends up being, at first it's just bake sales. It ends up being because her parents own this Chinese bakery. like Chinese bakery pastries with cannabis infused, which I still maintain to this day would be like a great business plan to execute on in real life.
Yeah, I mean, Jordan and I have talked about this at length. If somebody wants to do this, just give us a call.
Most definitely.
That's right. And I think, like, you know, short of the plot, which is, you know, kind of what we just talked about, the story is also about a relationship with failure. And like, I think Jordan has a good spiel about this, but it's like, you know, when you grow up and you are kind of, you know, you work really hard and you're kind of like reasonably successful, there's this like weird feedback loop that happens. That's like, you're successful. And so like, you feel good because you're like working hard and you're successful, but then you never really get to this point where you fail, and you fail so hard that like you have to come to terms with the fact that you've got this weird, like, tying this success to your self-worth thing going on. And it's, you know, obviously it's inspired by our experiences as growing up as the children of immigrants, of Asian immigrants in this country. But yeah, it talks about a lot of those themes.
Yeah, I think it's like Deepak said. On the surface, it's also just like a really, really fun show with a lot of wacky jokes.
We hope.
Awesome.
No, that's awesome.
Wacky
No,
jokes.
I can't wait to wacky jokes. Hey, no, but yeah, we can't wait to see you guys' performance. Thank you for breaking it down, and yeah, take it away. This is gonna be awesome.
And by the way, this is a live performance. Jordan will be playing live piano, and Deepak will be singing. So, technology, let's go.
Don't worry, it's gonna be in sync.
It's gonna work for sure. I don't ever make a mistake that cuts me so deeply that I don't heal. I've never let a swing and a miss prevent me from stepping up to bat. I'm encompassed by the dark, and everything seems to stop but me. Will it suspend me here in motion? Is this who I truly am? You know what they say when you're losing the game, don't stay on the bench and complain. So I'll take a deep breath and slow down, and flip on the switch in my brain. Cut the crap, get back, don't put salt in the wound. What the fuck, get up, be the best in the room. Pick up the pieces and use the failure as fuel. I have a responsibility to go to a school that'll make mom proud. If I let them down, I can't even picture the whispers of all I'll never be. You know what they say when you're losing the game, don't stay on the bench and complain. So I'll take a deep breath and slow down, and flip on the switch in my brain. Cut the crap, get back, don't put salt in the wound. What the fuck, get up, be the best in the room. Pick up the pieces and use the failure as fuel. This won't take you down, it's not the end of the road. You can break this down and you can go for the gold. Pick up the pieces and use the failure as fuel. Though it feels like I'm blind, I know that there'll be light, a light that I'll shine, a path I'll find. I know that I will find my way. Cut the crap, get back, don't put salt in the wound. What the fuck, get up, be the best in the room. Pick up the pieces and use the failure as fuel. This won't take you down, it's not the end of the road. You can break this down and you can go for the gold. Pick up the pieces and use the failure as fuel. Did it work?
Oh.
Did it work? Did it work?
Wow. It worked. It worked phenomenally. Yeah. Wow. Wow.
Oh man.
Stuck in my head all day now. Like, come on, that's not fair.
Oh, I'm like, how is magic?
Yeah, you
Check
can
us
do
out
it.
at musical.com.
People don't know you can do it. You can do live accompaniment.
real. It's
Yeah,
totally real.
Didn't you guys like create this technology or something? Like, how did you guys come about having this technology to
all
perform
Jordan.
live through
It's all
virtual?
Jordan.
I don't think we need to talk about it on stream, but yeah, there's a side project I'm working on related to like low latency internet piano. That's all.
That's amazing. Thank you guys so much for performing. Wow. Yeah, wow. And
You
I believe
can
that,
sorry,
yeah.
you can find other demos at bakethemusical.com if anybody's looking for them.
Yes. And if anybody wants to
we
produce
will.
the show, I mean, just call us.
Send us an email.
You know, we're down.
Is it
Ah, that's awesome.
www.bakethemusical.com, right?
Yeah, bakethemusical.com. Yeah,
All right. Is this correct?
That's the
There you go.
one.
that's the one.
Folks, come visit and support Deepak and Jordan's original musical.
Yeah, and I believe you guys are staying for this live interview we're about to do too, right?
Yep. We sure are.
Oh, sweet. Japoy, like, let's hear about what's about to happen.
All right, let's see. Drum roll. Who's here? There we go. Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, sweet. Well,
How are y'all
thank
doing?
you guys. We're doing great. My bad. Yeah, thank you guys so much for being here with us today.
Please ignore my location switch.
Virtual talking is definitely hard, so we're just gonna start off by like introducing ourselves, our pronouns, and just give a little introduction about who we are, so that the world, the virtual cafe, will know exactly who we are. Could we start with, is this Jordan right over here?
Yeah. Hi, everyone. I'm Jordan. I use they, them pronouns. Deepak and I wrote Bake the Musical together. We're also longtime collaborators and just writers and musicians. We're doing some music production work as well.
Sweet. Deepak, could you go next, Deepak? Because, I mean, I feel like you guys are a pair group with this.
That's correct. Hi, everyone. My name is Deepak. I'm, like Jordan mentioned, collaborators working on Bake the Musical and a number of other musical theater projects. Located in the Bay Area, I use he, him pronouns.
Oh, hi, I'm Aureen. I use she, her, and I am the artistic director at Benilsif Studio.
Hey, everybody. Eric Ting, he, him pronouns. I'm actually zooming in from unceded Munsee Lenape lands, also known as Brooklyn right now. But I'm the artistic director of California Shakespeare Theater.
Hi, everybody. I'm Lily Tung Crystal. I go by she, her. I am the artistic director of Theater Moo in the Twin Cities, which is on the traditional homelands of the Dakota people.
Hi, I'm Sharon Pang, she, her, zooming in from Ohlone Lands in San Jose, California. I am a board member at South Bay Musical Theater, head of their inclusion committee, and I do hair, makeup, costumes for theater, film, and television, as well as prop and set paint work.
The land attribution for Deepak and I is also Ohlone land.
Mine too. Sorry, forgot. Ramai Lonely Land.
Me too. Me too. I forgot as well. It's all right. Yeah. Thank you guys all once again for being here. We're just gonna break it down with like our main leading question, because you guys are phenomenal creators on top of just phenomenal, let's just say, theater leaders. You know, you're doing some amazing things in all the different places you work. So we just want to ask, like, how can we continue to empower future AAPI artists in theater and entertainment? And yeah, who would like to go first?
Open to anyone.
I mean, it's really about, you know, finding theaters that will hire talent that tells your story, right? I know that in this area, Palo Alto Players specifically they have a very large, like, Asian American donor base, and so they make a point of doing at least one Asian-centric show every year, and they're very cognizant about creating a design team and a cast that really reflects that. That's actually where I met Lily. I think it was like our first show together was Chinglish, and then our second show together was Flower Drum Song. And it was very interesting to be in production meetings where we were the majority. And so that was really fun. And then me as a designer, I always make sure that I have, for when the opportunity arises, part of it is that we have to empower like new designers, right? The next generation. So it's finding people who are interested. I work at a lot of schools too, and it's like finding students who are interested and really just enabling them to work for you, to learn from you, to ask questions, and really opening up to the idea that the arts is a valid career, right? Like there's that stereotype that is a little bit true that like a lot of our parents don't encourage the arts. And I come from a really weird family in that everyone on my father's side are professional musicians and opera singers and orchestra directors. But when I went into the other department, hair, makeup, costumes, they're like, what is that? What are you doing? So it's, it's like finding people in our communities and and not just our communities, right? Like other minorities and underrepresented people, and like lifting them up, giving them the opportunity to ask questions and be part of the team.
That was beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that. I agree 1000%. It's just, you're right. Yes. Does anyone else have anything else you'd like to expand on that?
I can speak on behalf of like Benilsif Studio. So for folks who don't know, we're a Filipino American black box performing arts space, and because we do, specifically center on the Filipino American artists, but we're welcome to everybody. The way we empower folks to do arts is just really making our shows and our workshops, all of our offerings, really accessible by providing, either free or sliding scale. So folks who are interested in acting, they could just try it. Right, they don't have to pay so much, right? Like right now, our Stories High program is going on, and there's a directing workshop with Li Ling Ao, and it's amazing, right? So it's like, and we have scholarships. Like we ask our community partners to help us pay for tuition for folks, and keeping that available for people, right? So that they can, even if they're just curious, or if they are serious or curious, then they can try it out for themselves.
Oh, that's beautiful. I feel like you guys are both expanding on just like allowing opportunities for people of AAPI backgrounds as well as just BIPOC in general. So I think that, yes, opportunities is right where we need. That's what we need in this world. Yeah.
Just a shout out to one of our viewers, Mr. Conrad Panganiban. I'm taking his script writing class right now, and it's been so awesome. Courtesy of like Stories High.
Definitely. No, yeah, shout out. But yeah, how else do you think we can continue to empower our communities through theater?
I'll say all of the above. I mean, I think everything that Oreen and Sharon have said are just so right on. I was born in Grand Forks, North Dakota, and raised in Morgantown, West Virginia, so the heart of the Appalachians. And I think part of my experience as an AAPI artist has actually been often on the outside of things. So there was not a large Asian community where I grew up, and certainly I never felt a part of the community that I was raised in. And so that kind of outsider experience is really, I think it's a shared experience by a lot of us. And I think part of what I'm finding right now is it's just so important, this moment. And I think the hate and the violence that so many of us are struggling against right now has really created an extraordinary moment to kind of build community and to actually connect folks across the country, who don't necessarily have the opportunity of growing up in sort of high density AAPI populations. Like, how do we build that network across the country?
Wow, definitely. I mean, I know from my experience in theater, we build such a strong community together, but it's not always like open, or it's not always a big amount of AAPI. So it's just like, yeah, I think community, even within the theater community, and like you were saying as well, just like in multiple areas in the world, it's just giving people opportunities to even have a community. I think that's, yeah, like you said, very empowering. But yeah, what other ways can we appreciate or empower these future AAPI artists?
Hey, Oscar, thanks for having me. I also, lift up what Aureen, Eric, and Sharon have said. I think, Theater Moo is an Asian American theater company. We are a theater of color. And so, we're doing the work in hiring and giving AAPI artists and other BIPOC artists opportunities in the theater. And I also think for the larger theater community, like the predominantly white institutions, it's also, giving those artists opportunity, making room for those narratives, the marginalized narratives that haven't been on their stages, and hopefully written by Asian American playwrights and BIPOC playwrights. The playwrights that are really redefining the American canon right now. And I think more of that work needs to happen at the larger stages across the United States. And in terms of support for the AAPI work and the theaters of color, there's a huge disparity in America right now in funding. And I think like more than 95% of arts funding goes to predominantly white institutions. And the theaters of color and art institutions of color are left with like 3 to 5% or something. I don't know the exact numbers, but it's close to that. And so we're doing a lot in the Twin Cities on trying to make funding more equitable so that the art institutions of color have more access to funding, because they're doing the work of increasing equity in the arts, when a lot of the predominantly white institutions are getting funding for their like one project that increases equity. So I think just to have that consciousness in mind in really being intentional about practicing anti-racist practices within the theater industry.
Definitely. Now, I think we all know that theater is very expensive. So it's just like we need to have, and like a lot of just, I know local theaters in the Bay Area really depend on the, not just funding, but donations from different people in their communities. And so it sounds like in order to create these opportunities, in order to create these communities, we need to have backing for it. We need to have actual funding to put forward organizations and groups that can lead our future AAPI artists into a more empowered future and appreciative towards themselves and their own cultures. Which, yeah, and it's from all the work you guys are doing, it's very apparent that you guys are fighting day and night, and we're just so appreciative for all this work. Deepak or Jordan, do you guys want to add a little bit to just like how to increase empowerment for future AAPI artists or composers and writers?
I was gonna say, first of all, to be on this panel is hilarious. I feel like I've been photoshopped into a panel. It's really funny. But I would say, I mean, probably the same for you, Deepak. We're pretty early career. What this means to me as far as like the impact on the broader community is, it's really just about representation, and representation in kind of an honest way. Like I think that there are sometimes, I mean, not to put it like in a blunt way, but sometimes there are like talking points that are important for activism that aren't actually even true to your own narrative. And I think to really make art that people are going to connect with, you have to truly connect with it. And I think that is how you get, these news stories out there, instead of just saying the things that you've been hearing because you know that you're supposed to say them.
Yeah, I mean, just to follow on to that, I think there's this big, and we heard it today too, but there's this big focus that I think that we should be focusing on, and like making sure that people don't think that we're a monolith, right? That Asian encompasses so much, and that you can have an Asian American be a high school student who wants to go to Harvard, and you can also have an Asian American student be a drug dealer, and that's cool, and it's okay, and it's awesome. Oh, I just dropped something. And I think showing being really, I think, as Jordan said, being really honest about those experiences, but also showing that, we're not just one thing is also, I think, super important in terms of empowering future actors, future writers, future productions, future things in the theater world.
I'm going to piggyback off of that because I saw Bryan in the comments, and he was our dialect coach for a couple of shows. And to that point, yes, Asia is not a monolith. And that was why it was so important for him to be on our shows as a dialect coach, because even within one country, it's going to be vastly different from one side to the other. Now, if you think about the United States, it's the very same thing. And so telling Asian stories, it isn't just about the Far East, it's about the Southeast, and it's like it's all together. And so whenever there's like a theater is like, oh, we've done like one Asian show, it's like, but what does that mean? Like there isn't any one Asian. I mean, look at our panel here. I love that it's so diverse, even within our one continent, and that's really what needs to be represented out there.
Definitely. It's
How do you think
we're too often just put into just like one little box of what we can be, when we clearly have multiple talents, multiple identities. We could be a drug dealer or a Harvard graduate. We can, it's like, as long as we have the opportunity to be represented in different ways that we're not currently represented as, it's like, these are great ways to move forward. Someone was about to say something. I'm sorry for interrupting.
No, not at all. Hey, Oscar. I was going to ask, because Sharon, I love what you're saying, right, about this notion of the complexity of identity within this community, which is really a political community, right? Like Asian American or API, it's a political identity more than anything else. Like, how do we make that a strength, right? That kind of, because it's like there's so many, like it's sort of like, it's like how do you gather the lived experiences of so many distinct cultures, languages, belief systems, and sort of focus that.
Do you want me to take that?
I was just posing a question to y'all.
Oh, okay. I mean, I can start out since I guess that is, I brought it up. I mean, like for me, as a first generation in America, something that I've had to really learn was that my experience as first gen is very different from someone who is several generations into the American experience, right? And this is something I say as an EDI activist or someone with that awareness, is that we have to gauge how tired we are. And I realize that my tiredness is not as tired as someone who's like several generations in, because I didn't experience the concentration camp situation and all that, or like the railroads. So I have less family trauma because of that. And so I have to gauge what is appropriate, right? So in the past, I have done Millie and Anything Goes, which are problematic. And we've done the show in a way where all my first gen friends and family were like, oh yeah, that works. But I have come to learn that it is so harmful for people who have experienced the generational trauma that I had no concept of until I really delved into it and talked to the community about it. So even within generations of the same community, sort of, right? Like me talking to other Far East Asians, there's work to be done in there. And then I know that I need to gauge how I perceive harm, even on that level. So that's something that I've come to learn and also develop and saying, okay, there's things we just don't need to do. So that sort of answers your question. But in terms of like cross-cultural, I think that really is about source material. Anyone take the ball here?
I mean, we at Theater Moo, I get asked that question a lot, and how we represent the immense diaspora of the Asian American experience, because we are an Asian American theater company, and we are not a monolith. And I would say, I was a theater artist in the Bay Area for about 17 years, and then now in the Twin Cities, and those two communities are vastly different. I mean, the Bay Area Asian American community is very Chinese, or predominantly Chinese. And in the Twin Cities, the Chinese population is very small. So the predominant Asian American group there are the Hmong and Southeast Asians. And so I've learned a lot about representing a community that's very different than the communities in California, which is where I'm from. And I would say that, it's hard to cover all the diaspora because we're not a monolith, but I feel like a lot of times when predominantly white institutions or Hollywood or whatnot does Asian American work, it's the stories are written in generalization, so the characters are very stereotyped. And for me, and they hope that through that, the story is universal and more of their mainstream audiences will come see the work. And for me, I believe the key to universality is through specificity. So, people will come see the work if it's good storytelling. And whatever the story is, whether it's Hmong or Chinese or Japanese or Korean or Lao. And so I believe that if the storytelling is good and we're writing clear, well-defined, deep characters, that through that specificity is how we arrive at the universality and the empathy of human experience. So that's how I kind of look at that question about how to represent the Asian American diaspora, which is a question I ask myself regularly, being the leader of an Asian American organization. And I realize I have like sunlight cutting me off here in horizontal lines. I'm going to fix my blinds.
Yeah, I totally agree and echo what Lily just said about specificity. I think that in, predominantly white institutions, there's a lot of like needing to explain what this cultural context is, right? Like to an audience that might not be predominantly Asian. And so there's a lot of like, this is what we mean in our culture, but which I think we take for granted at Binless because right when you walk in a theater space, it's already like you're in a Filipino American theater space. So we just, drop Tagalog here and there and without really translating it, and it's for us, it's like it's that we can just be ourselves without having to explain it, right? We don't have to use this translation. And if you are not Filipino and you enter our space, it's like you're welcome to enter in this journey. And there is value in watching something, listening to something that might not be from your own culture or your own language, and you might not connect with it in that way, but you connect with the emotion or just the way, theater just has that magic, right? Yeah.
So I would just like to say, as someone who has spent most of his career as a Chinese American artist navigating legacy white spaces, like what you just said there, Aureen, is so important, right? Which is that, like, if I'm speaking to folks who are trying to figure out how to find their power in these spaces, I mean, yes, divest and redistribute resources 100%. But if you find yourself in one of these legacy white spaces, just be your full self. Like, don't give in to the impulse that's going to surround you to make you tokenize, to make you represent like multiple cultures, because there's no such thing. There's no Asian American identity any more than there is like a white identity, right? There's like these are not cultures. These are sort of acts of erasure, or they're acts of power making. So how do we like which I think is such a great thing, which is how do we what are the tools with which we build within ourselves that allow us to arrive in spaces as our full selves?
Right. And when you think about it, like, there are, more, white plays that might not be accessible to Asians, right? But they don't bother to translate that, right? But and so I think just theater in general, the history of theater is embedded with white supremacy. I just want to call that out. And so we ourselves have to resist that, as Eric said, that we, perpetuate it or we embody it. And I think the culture of the show must go on you know, despite our physical health, despite our mental health. That's part of that problem, I think, that we have to start to dismantle.
Oh yeah, yes. I mean, these are some beautiful points you're bringing up, and clearly you guys are putting so much hard thought and hard work behind it. And we just want to know, like, what can the normal person do to help your specific theater companies or your specific project that you're putting on?
They can, you mean like an audience member or a donor or?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, they can donate to our company. There's our link. The system all works. Thank you for including that link, y'all. So you can donate to our theater company at theatermoo.org/support. Also, come see our shows. We're doing a New Works Festival of short plays written by Asian American writers in response to the rise of anti-Asian violence and hate. And that will happen May 21st to 29th in honor of Asian American Pacific Heritage Month. And so that you can go to our website, theatermoo.org, for more information about that. To get tickets, it's free. And we'll be doing 5 short plays in the virtual space during that week. And the 5 playwrights are Carla Ching, Lisa Marie Rollins, Saimuk Devangsai, our Mellon Foundation playwright in residence, Isabella Dowis, and there's one more. Who is it? Oh my God, I totally blanked. I will figure it out and let you know. My God, I was just talking about their work. Like I'm casting the whole thing right now, and then I totally blanked on the last person. It's Aditi Kapil. Aditi Kapil. And I forgot because she's already written her play, so she's all ready to go. The other 4 are working on their plays.
No, that's awesome. We'll be sure to plug that awesome event coming up later in the month as well. How else, for anyone else, how could we help support your theater or your project? Or how can a patron, an audience member help support your project or theater?
So again, I want to echo what Jordan said earlier. It really is hilarious that we're here. But I think that one of the things that's awesome that we would really love is if you went to our website and listened to our songs and engage with the material. And then whenever the show gets put on, and we think that it will get put on in the future, I hope you'll be there in the audience.
I think it's just as much like there's no reason, obviously I believe in our show, there's no reason you should favor our show over other new work though. And as an audience member, it's not really a sustainable suggestion to say like, just go out and support a bunch of new work. I think at the root of it, it's a structural problem to the extent that it's a problem at all. I mean, like somebody said, theater is extremely expensive, but at the same time, it's very, very cheap, right? Like you can put on a small production oftentimes without paying people because it's just something that we do because we love it. Like Deepak and I don't get paid. It's very much like I'm reminded of that thing where it's like made by poor people for poor people is memes, but made by poor people for rich people is theater. And you can complete the square as well, but I feel like the answer is not as simple as like just support new work. I don't know what the answer is, but like it's kind of a self-serving answer for us to say like check out our show.
Wow, thanks, Jordan.
Well, it's also like you said that you just put some demos out on SoundCloud. So hey, that's free. That's like free theater essentially right there. That's gonna expose your work. Like checking out your website. Hey, theatrical acts right there, all with the pointer finger and the little mouse pad. Anyways, but yeah, it's
also not self-serving.
Right.
It's great. We should everybody should go see everybody's work all the time.
Definitely.
Can I plug something? Yeah. I'm going to plug this. So normally I'd say come see Cal Shakes, but I'm not sure that I want to tell you all to come see Shakespeare. I mean, come see Shakespeare. Otherwise I'm going to get in a lot of trouble. Come see Shakespeare. But I'm going to take a moment to talk about a project that Erica Chong-Shuk and Ryan Takata are doing. They've got this group called For You, and they were sort of really moved by the wave of anti-Asian hate that's been happening over this last year. And they have this project, which is Artists and Elders, where they match individual artists with socially isolated elders living in the Bay Area. And they sort of like create miniature performances as gifts to these people. And they've sort of redesigned that project to focus on about 120 largely monolingual AAPI socially isolated elders living in the Bay Area, and they're reaching out to artists all across the country who speak. In particular, they're looking for folks who speak Cantonese and Mandarin to engage in 3 one-hour conversations with these elders, and then they're going to kind of create a political activist poster out of a quote from each of their interviews, and then we're gonna send them all out at the end of June and get everybody to kind of post them on the wall.
That's awesome. Thank you for plugging that. That's incredible work, and we should go see Shakespeare as well. But yes, it seems like an incredible organization. Thank you for telling us about that. How else can we support your theater or your project you're working on?
Hi. Okay, so we actually have a restorative theater arts for seniors program that's been going on since 2018, and we pivoted to just doing Zoom with the seniors. These are seniors from South of Market and a Tenderloin neighborhood in San Francisco, and so we at VmediArts coordinate drivers to drive to deliver groceries to seniors and families. And actually, one of the organizations we partner with is Bayanihan Equity Center. The folks we're trying to raise awareness for this event. And so if folks are free on a Thursday to deliver and you have access to a car, we put a Google form for volunteer sign up every Thursday on our Instagram. So it's not on our website, but it's here now. And another way to support is just checking us out on our social media. And we have Stories High still going on right now. So if you're interested in directing, that workshop is happening, and you can join Jetboy. He's in it.
Okay.
I'm going to segue in on the social media thing. So I'm a board member at South Bay Musical Theater, and we've been doing a lot of work in our e-studio online. So we've been doing e-programming, free programming throughout the entire pandemic. And one thing that we've discovered was a difficulty is that the algorithm does not favor BIPOC people. So we tried this with the show Rachel, which is an all-Black cast, and then we recently did it with tried paid programming or paid advertising on Facebook with the latest show Anonymous, directed by Vinh, and featuring AAPI. Amongst others, and we find that we are constantly the numbers did not significantly increase despite us paying Facebook to market for us. So to Big Musical's point, share, help, we have to drive the algorithm, right? If the algorithm won't work for us, then we need to be retweeting, recording Instagram story sharing, Facebook sharing, liking. That is $0 that you have to spend to elevate someone in your community, whether that's AAPI or anyone else. That like and share.
Sweet. Yeah. Well, thank you guys so much for being here and sharing your wisdom, your experience, and just also just future steps on how theater can propel the world forward. Thank you so much for being here. And I believe, Lily, you might know the next performers coming up, I believe. Is that right, Jetboy?
I do. Thank you so much for featuring them. So we have two Mu artists, two of our favorite Mu artists who are performing the next song. They recorded it during the pandemic. It's called Back to Before from Ragtime. We think it's really appropriate for the moment. And the two artists are Susie Jewell, who is singing, and Isabella Dowis, who is accompanying her on piano. Thanks for including them. And thanks, Isabella and Susie, for sharing your work with us.
And thank you everyone for being here.
Thank you.
Here we go.
There was a time our happiness seemed never ending. I was so sure that where we were headed was right. Life was a road so certain and straight and unbending. Our little road with never a crossroad in sight. Back in the days when we spoke in civilized voices, women in white and sturdy young men at the oar. Back in the days when I let you make all my choices. We can never go back to before. There was a time my feet were so solidly planted. You sailed away while I turned my back to the sea. I was content, a princess asleep and enchanted. If I had dreams, then I let you dream them for me. Back in the days when everything seemed so much clearer, women in white who knew what their lives held in store. Where are they now, those women who stared from the mirror? We can never go back to before. There are people out there unafraid of revealing that they might have a feeling, or they might have been wrong. There are people out there unafraid to feel sorrow, unafraid of tomorrow, unafraid to be weak, unafraid to be strong. There was a time when you were the person in motion. I was your wife. It never occurred to want more. You were my sky, my moon, and my stars, and my ocean. We can never go back to before. We can never go back to
Wow.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
was
What
so
an
beautifully shot.
unbelievable performance and interview. Thank you so much.
Yo, right?
Thank you so
They
much.
brought up some.
Yeah, thank you.
You go-
Let's
you-
just
you-
go and
you-
thank you one more time because I'm forever grateful for them. Thank you so much, Irene from Bindle Staff, Lily from Theater Mew, Deepak and Jordan from Bake the Musical, Eric Ting from Cow Shakes, and Sharon Pang from South Bay Musical Theater. Thank you for spending your Sunday afternoon with us and sharing insights about AAPI in the theater industry.
Yeah, they brought up such great points around funding, opportunities, community, representation, specificity of
Specificity.
of
We're not a
Asian
monolith.
ethnicities. Yeah, there were some great college words in there. So if you're applying for school out there, use some of those words that we just used in that interview. That's our little cheat sheet. Look at that before your next SAT. Anyways, I just want to recognize, the next shirt I'm wearing. This is 5 a.m. Audrey Mika, who is a Bay Area born pop artist who is now coming up and Yeah, check out her music. She is half Japanese, half white, like myself, and she's killing it right now, putting out really dope music. So check her out as well. Anyways, that's she has cool paper clips and stuff. So if you like paper clips, wait, what is it? There it is. No, paper clips. Boom. Anyways, yeah, Japoy, what do we got up next?
All right, who's ready for Act 2? Because Act 2 will feature our local SF Bay Area theater artists.
Yes.
We invited so many of our friends and they were like, "Yes, of course, we want to do this." And I cannot wait for everyone to see their performance. You know, we were talking about representation matters, and guess what? Here are the folks who you should cast in your show because they are all amazing.
Yeah, and here are some of their favorite musical theater songs too. So we're just allowing them sing songs that maybe they never saw themselves being able to be cast before. So hey, sing the songs you want to sing, just like these next performers are about to do. You got this.
Out of the ruins and rubble, out of the smoke, out of our night of struggle, can we see a ray of hope? One pale thin ray reaching for the day. We can build a beautiful city. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. We can build a beautiful city. Not a city of angels, but we can build a city of men. We may not reach the ending, but we can start slowly but truly mending, brick by brick, heart by heart. Now, maybe now we start learning how we can build a beautiful city. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. We can build a beautiful city. Not a city of angels, but we can build a city of men. When your trust is all but shattered, when your faith is all but killed, you can give up, bitter and battered, or you can slowly start to build a beautiful city. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. We can build a beautiful city. Not a city of angels, but finally a city of men. A city of men.
making everybody fall in love. Well, you see, girl, you're a lot like me. She rearranges all the light in the room, so you're always in the shadows. Well, that's what it feels like to you. Baby, I've been there too. And I know how much it can sometimes hurt. You feel like the whole world has made you the ugly girl. But take it from me that you have to see it first. So before you trade in your summer skin for those high heel shoes to make him wanna be with you, let me remind you one more time that maybe you're beautiful, but you just can't see. So why don't you trust me? They'll see it too, you beautiful girl, you. You wanna lay the blame on somebody else, all these tiny little minds that leave you up on the shelf. Well, okay, but I've seen it done that way. And just in case nobody ever comes through right and they come to your rescue, you still have a chance. Don't have to be as intense. And I know how much you've been dying to say. Look how much everybody loves me. But guess who gets left when everyone else fades away? So before you trade in your summer skin for those high heel shoes to make him wanna be with you, let me remind you one more time that maybe you're beautiful, but you just can't see. So why don't you trust me? They'll see too, you beautiful girl, you. Whoa. They'll see too, you beautiful girl, you. I sit and watch the rain and see my tears run down the window pane. I sit and watch the sky, and I could hear it breathe a sigh. I think of him, how we were, and when I think of him, then I remember. In his eyes I can see was worth forgiving for. Now I realize everything worth living for is there in his eyes. Love is worth forgiving for. Now I realize everything worth living for is there in his
I've been so many places in my life and time. I've sung a lot of songs and made some bad rhymes. I acted out my life on stages with 10,000 people watching. We're alone now, and I'm singing this song for you. I know your image on me is what I hope to be. I treated you unkindly, but darling, can't you see? There's no one more important to me, baby, can't you see through me? We're alone now, and I'm singing a song to you. You taught me precious secrets of a true love, withholding nothing. Came out in front when I was hiding. Now I'm so much better, and if my words don't come together, just listen to the melody, 'cause my love is in there hiding. I love you in a place where there's no space or time. I love you for my life. You're a friend of mine. And when my life is over, remember when we were together. Singing this song to you. Friend of mine. And when my life is over, remember we were together. We were alone, and I was singing the song to you. to you.
All of this time I've planned, I've been patient, and you would love me again. You've come to respect my mind. At last you'd find you can love me again. And I have turned my whole world upside down, trying not to let you go. Watching you walk away is like a fatal blow. Whoa! Is that my name up on that list? Does someone know that I exist? Is this a mistake? Am I even awake? Pinch me now to make sure. Oh! Yes, that's my name in black and white. Maybe I'm doing something right. Wow, I feel so much better than before. Warner! Sorry, I've been a pest, but I guess my best was not working with you. But looks like I found a cure, and I so look forward to working with you.
What? Working with who?
Hey, remember when we spent spring break in the hot tub every night? You said nothing else could ever feel so right. Well, this might singing my name up on that list sure beats the first time that we kissed. You said I was dumb. Well, I think that somebody's judgment was blind. Seeing my name in black and white, it's like making love with you all night. No, wait, it feels so much better. Hello, much better. It's much better. I am so much better than before. She's so much better than she's so much better. Maybe she's what you prefer, but hey, last year I was her. Maybe you will change your mind, but you might look up to find I've gone on to better things, better jobs and bigger rings. I don't have the time to cry, I'm too busy loving my name up on that list. Kind of a cool, ironic twist. Who else can I tell? Oh, where's my cell? Calling mom on the phone. Hey mom, look at my name in black and white. Your daughter's doing something right. I feel so much better. I'll be there on Monday, 9 o'clock. Then we will see who walks the walk. No, I can't wait. I will be there at 8 when they unlock the door. Oh, I'll even dress in black and white. See, I have not begun to fight. And then you'll go, oh, much better. Hello, much better. And soon, oh, you're gonna know much better. I am so much better. I am so much better. I am so much better than before.
There was something in the desert. There's someplace wild and green, and a child in a village I passed through. There are places that I've traveled, and so many things I've seen. Well, it all fades away, but you. Sliding down a mountain, was burning in the sun, was crying with amazement at the view. I was capturing a moment, but when all was said and done, well, it all fades away, but you. It all fades away, all fades away. It all fades away, but you. I have sailed across the oceans, past the cities and the farms, on a never-ending quest for something new. But the only thing that mattered were the 4 days in your arms. It'll all fade away, but you. It all fades away. It all fades away. It all fades away, but you. That cannot be torn apart. There's one thing that remains forever true. Past the thinking, past the breathing, past the beating of my heart, it'll all fade away, but you. It all fades away, it all fades away, it all fades away, but you. It all fades away, it all fades away, it all fades away. But you.
Half the world is sleeping, half the world's awake, half can hear their hearts beat, half can hear them break. I am but a traveler in most every way. Ask me what you want to know. What a journey it has been, and the end is not in sight. But the stars are out tonight, and they're bound to guide my way. When they're shining on my life, I can see a better day. I won't let the darkness in. What a journey it has been. I have been to sorrow, I have been to bliss, where I'll be tomorrow, I can only guess. darkest desert, through the deepest snow. Forward, always forward, I go. What a journey it has been, and the end is not in sight, but the stars are out tonight, and they're bound to guide my way. When they're shining on my life, I can see a better day. I won't let the darkness in. What a journey it has been. Forward, always forward. Onward, always up. Catching every drop of hope in my empty cup. What a journey it has been, and the end is not in sight, but the stars are out tonight, and they're bound to guide my way. When they're shining on my life, I can see a better day. I won't let the darkness in. What a journey it has been.
Maybe this time I'll be lucky. Maybe this time he'll stay. Maybe this time, for the first time, love won't hurry away. He will hold me fast. I'll be home at last. Not a loser anymore, like the last time and the time before. Everybody loves a winner, so nobody loved me. Lady peaceful, lady happy, that's what I long to be. All the odds are in my favor, something's bound to begin. It's gonna happen sometime. Maybe this time we'll win. 'Cause everybody, oh, they love a winner, so nobody loves me.
Oscar, wow, you're on
Oh,
mute, but
oh my goodness. Are you kidding me? This
what
second act is insane.
a talented group of local Bay Area performers performing songs that typically they won't get cast in. Like, shout out to Amanda Nguyen for being so brave and performing so much better. And Juan Castro, gender flipping, maybe this time from Cabaret. And the cinematography from Vinh Nguyen's Beautiful City. Oh my god. And the purity in Jessie Ann Lukbang's voice. Oh my gosh. Shout out also
I'm
to
still
Alison Joy and Trixie for that powerhouse duet. Whew, so much talent, man. Whew.
no, I'm still trying to process all this. This is beyond my expectation of how the night was going to go. So, wow, these performers are phenomenal, and you guys were just giving so much love to everybody throughout every single performance. So, thank you out there watching. That means the world to us. That means the world to the performers. It's just that is so empowering, and we appreciate all of you guys so much. This is awesome. I don't want the night to end, and guess what? It's not ending yet because we still have a lot of performances left. And speaking of, I just want to show something. I'm wearing a shirt right now, and my true identity is Okinawan, which can sometimes be misidentified as being specifically Japanese because we are like, a Japanese state. Same to how Hawaii is like a U.S. state. It's U.S., but it's still like a very own specific, identity. As we were talking earlier in the interview with the amazing, all those theater leaders, specificity. So in Japanese, you can say hi by saying Ohio, like, the state Ohio for you Americans out there. But in Okinawa, you can say hi for the males by saying hi sai, or for the woman, hi tai. Language creates our own cultures, and sometimes, because of colonization, we lose a lot of our attachment to those original identities that we've had. But we need to recognize who we are on the inside so that we could share all this love and joy on the outside. And I believe our next performers have a lot to do with identity. Isn't that right, Chapoy?
Yes, identity and again, representation and inclusivity.
Their true selves too, right?
Your true selves. And here at the Virtual Cafe, we just don't want to feature AAPI theater actors. We reach out to performers outside our small theater box, per se. So, without further ado, we'd like to introduce you to Eat More Snacks, also known as Curse Hatchel, and Hennessy Williams, who will be performing Brown Skin Girl and My New Swag.
神，我的身份有点贵还不挺身子，走到街上就抢一千台进口奔驰。我来自成都，是成都的恩赐，你听到的不光音乐，什么还有真实。没人喜看到我表现的就抢过生日，弟娃喜把我当偶像，喜欢我的梗子，还有哥哥姐姐叔叔阿姨都是粉丝，欣赏不来什么钱包你们就该升职。
转我的心意，希望每一天有不同的惊喜。转我的心意，从来不敷衍，伴着惊喜。转我的心意，希望每一天有不同的惊喜。转我的心意，从来不敷衍，伴着惊喜。Look at me， 不化妆都化了，喷上爱的香水，否则不可能出发的。哪个女生不爱美？时尚我满血8个，你爱的那个 bad boy 都想领我的花给多少 hater， 他们把我视为眼中钉，当气度从你心里爬到脸中心，做自己就是你，做个最时尚的新人，打扮漂亮再出门，要坚持这种精神。当我出现，每一眼都惊艳，讨厌肤浅，给我捡起你偏见，不仅不愿，就该谦虚像心愿，要更酷炫，每一天都更鲜艳。转我的心意，希望每一天有不同的惊喜。转我的心意，从来不敷衍，伴着惊喜。转我的心意，希望每一天有不同的惊喜。转我的心意，从来不敷衍，伴着惊喜。
清早起来什么金丝糕，梳一个油头什么花香，脸上擦的是什么花粉，糕点的胭脂是什么花。
转我的心意，转我的心意，转我的心意，希望每一天有不同的惊喜。转我的心意，从来不敷衍，伴着惊喜。
Skin just like pearl, best thing in the world. Never trade you for anybody else. And brown skin girl, skin just like pearl, the best thing in the world. I never trade you for anybody else. Singing.
Pose like a trophy when Naomi's walking. She need an Oscar for that pretty dark skin. Pretty like Lupita when the camera's closing. Drip broke the levee when my Kelly's rolling. I think tonight she might braid her braids. Melanin too dark to throw her shade. She minds her business and winds her waist. Go like 24K. Okay. Tonight I might fall in love, depending on how you hold me. I'm glad that I'm calming down. Can't let no one come control me. Keep dancing and call it love. She fighting but falling slowly. If ever you are in doubt, remember what mama told me. Brown skin girl, your skin just like pearls. You're back against the world. I never tried you for anybody else. Said brown skin girl, your skin just like pearls. The best thing about the world. I never tried you for anybody else. Oh, have you looked in the mirror lately? Wish you could trade eyes with me. Cause there's complexities in complexion, but your skin is glow like diamonds. Dig me like the earth, you be giving birth to everything alive, baby, know your worth. I love everything about you, from your nappy curls to every single curve, your body natural. Same skin that was broken, be the same skin taking over. Most things out of focus view, but when you're in the room, they notice you. Cause you're beautiful. Yeah, you're beautiful. Them and them gon' fall in love with you in all of your glory. Your skin is not only dark, it's shines and it tells your story. Keep dancing, they can't control you. They watching, they all adore you. If ever you are in doubt, remember what mama told you. Brown skin girl, your skin just like pearls. You're black against the world. I never trade you for anybody else. Say brown skin girl, your skin just like pearls. The best thing about the world. I never trade you for anybody else. Say brown skin girl, your skin just like pearls. You're black against the world. I never trade you for anybody else. Say brown skin girl, your skin just like pearls. The best thing about the world. I never trade you for anybody else. Say
skin girl, your skin just like pearls. Best thing in the world. I never trade you for anybody else. Singing.
Yeah. Is that just me, or was someone cutting onions? Because I was like getting teary up there.
No, the onions were here too. Those were phenomenal. Like, yeah, like the music was amazing, and then like all the production in the background just showing so many different aspects of their identity. Just oh, that was amazing. I'm so happy that they were able to that they both were able to share with us. That's amazing.
Yes, and that we were able to give them the platform to share their art and their message, and it's just so beautiful. We're all in this together, and I am forever grateful for everyone who has performed so far, and for our last set of groups who
Yeah,
will be performing. So, Oscar, take it away.
Yeah, we're actually going to be going to a little bit of an interview section as well. We had the opportunity to, reach out to some pretty cool people and talk with them on interviews. We were able to reach out to Vang from Gran Torino with a really insightful, very intelligent. He's a very smart guy. So we're going to air that in a second, followed by this company, Illumiably, which is it's a Fremont-based company run by AAPI as well, most like specifically Indian-run country. And so, not country, company. And then we also are hearing from a couple of V Media people from the past. But before we get into those awesome interviews, we're going to see a really cool video from this amazing Bay Area photographer, Natalie Jane. I'm so excited for this. I've worked with Natalie twice on 2 different shoots, and I've also worked with her in theater for years and years, blah, 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 blah. Enough about me. This is what she said about her next project. It says, after the murder of 6 Asian women in Atlanta, Georgia, I was terrified and needed an outlet to express my feelings. Community and Grief / Community and Healing, which is the name of the piece, is a piece born from the thought that a community is grieving, heals through community. I wanted to honor all Asian women in this piece who experience fetishization, dehumanization, abuse, and death from anti-Asian and hypersexualization rhetoric. And I think that speaks for itself. It's going to be awesome. She's a phenomenal photographer, and she has such an amazing route for where this next piece is coming from. So following Natalie's amazing video we're about to see, and powerful video, I should say again, we're going to hear some pretty awesome interviews. So yeah, let's see what happens. This is going to be awesome.
When his eyes first meet mine, I get lost in the color of my skin. He says, "Little China doll, you look just how I dreamt you would." It makes me think, run, sweet girl, red, eat, bowl, cut, breast, dirt, bird, crane, torn, tea on the stove, silk on the floor. All I can say is, "You mean me?" He leans close, and I want to tell him no, but he says, "Let me buy you a drink," as if to say, I did this to him. I step back, his face turns to stone. He says, "What do you think you are? I could blink and find more girls just like you." He leaves, and parts of me leave with him.
Very special guest for you today. He is an artist, he is an activist, he is a role model. You may know him from his star role in Gran Torino. We have Mr. Vang.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here, man. Very appreciate you being here. I recently watched Gran Torino, so yeah, you were phenomenal in that role. You held it down. How old were you when you were in Gran Torino?
I was 15. Gran Torino is considered, at the time, a film that was ushering in a post-race and Obama-era milieu in the country. So a lot of people saw the film as an allegory about how people can come together and transcend their differences to form unlikely bonds and friendships. And that's what my character was. I was getting asked everywhere I went who the Hmong people are, because I played a Hmong character. My character, Tao, was Hmong American in Gran Torino. They would ask who the Hmong people are, where's Laos, and what happened there, and what is the secret war. And to this day, many still have never heard of the Hmong people, and many still can't even locate Laos. So the fact that no one knows about the secret war means that they don't really know the history of how the Hmong ended up here in the US. And so I spoke up because I learned that that's what it means to be a person of color in this country. And the point was simply not to condemn Gran Torino or to cancel Clint Eastwood or to cancel Gran Torino. I mean, I think that that's ridiculous. I do believe in free speech. But my saying that shouldn't be interpreted as an endorsement of hate speech. And part of what I'm trying to work through is to convey the very idea that we can't regulate speech in this way, because what is that going to do? It's going to create more racists, and the racists are going to become even more racist, right? Which is kind of like what we're seeing with this Trump era backlash, or whitelash as they call it. And part of this free speech debate shows us that the orthodoxy with which people speak about this or on this issue is to convince us that this is all about a zero-sum game. We either let the racists say what they want, or do we respect people's dignity and humanity? And so we can think of Gran Torino being good and bad, right? And I don't necessarily think that it's entirely wrong or evil or entirely right and good. The film gave Hmong Americans this platform and mainstreamed this word.
You're helping us with the fight to take a step forward. And I'm so grateful that you were here to share all of your wisdom with us today. I'm very excited. You have a very bright future ahead of you. Thank you so much for being here with us. That's awesome.
Thanks for having me.
Rishi Jeffy, you have a very interesting company and business you run, and I think it'd be awesome if you just briefly tell us a little bit about it and how that helps bring you empowerment in your life.
I made this company kind of as a joke to start with, to be honest. I gave it the name Illumably, and everyone, when they hear Illumably, they're like, yo, what does that mean? But it stems from the word illuminate. So that's where the illume part comes. And we wanted to shed light on things that are kind of not talked about in the media. Originally our focus was kind of just talking about underserved communities and just stories that people never hear on a CNN or traditional media outlet. So I wanted to see if one guy out of his bedroom could basically put something out there, and if it could reach millions of people. And what I started out with was just making a video of having grit and how people who have gritty personalities can overcome anything. They can overcome even financial hardships from their parents. As long as they have a gritty mentality, they can make anything happen. So we had made a video about that, and it reached over 88 million views within 2 weeks or so of posting it on a Facebook page. Yeah, I think the biggest thing that needs to be happening, at least in the world today, is representation. There hasn't been enough representation for AAPI in the mainstream media for the longest time. I guess there was a first step that was taken in the Oscars with a female Asian lady winning an award this year, but still, even if you look at the movies, you don't really see much representation. And if you do see an Asian person on TV, it's they're usually typecasted as a nerd or someone who's really frail, never the main hero protagonist type of character. when it comes to like Marvel movies too, right? Like I'd love to see Asian people there, and I saw Kumail is also going to be in like one of the next Marvel movies that's coming out. So that was like a good first step. So more things like that. Like right now, when you think about like the famous people like Tom Cruise, Brad Pitt, and stuff like that, I want more household like AAPI names in that, in the same like breath, basically.
What's up, everyone?
Here's Alex. So he wrote the awesome story for the video that Oscar's in.
Okay, yeah. So Sick Boy, that's the title of this short film. And basically it stemmed from all the COVID-19 racism that was happening last year in 2020. And unfortunately, it was so prevalent. And Asian hate crimes against Asians have been going on for decades, but they've only gotten worse in the past year. So I took all the similarities and put them into one story so that people would be able to recognize what a hate crime is.
It was awesome shooting with you guys, and like I'm so excited to see how everything comes out.
Thank you so much for having us, man.
You know our next guest from all of our V Media promos. His name is Jun Zhang, and he's here to tell us about his experience being an Asian American bilingual actor in the Bay Area.
What's up, everybody? This is Jun Zhang from VmediArts. I'm pretty sure you already know me from lots of promo videos. Thank you, Oscar, for the awesome introduction. I think there are so many awesome theater plays in China that are in Mandarin Chinese. So I would like to see more plays that are translated into English and being portrayed in the Western world. And another way is just maybe we can encourage more people to translate the original Western plays into Chinese to let more Asian audience to understand the beauty of theater in the Western world. I think for all those young kids from Asia, my first advice is like get rid of all those traditional thoughts on Asian people doing acting as a crazy idea. It's not crazy. It's just a job. So don't listen to your parents on this one. Just be yourself. If you love acting, just do it. You know, there's nothing wrong with being an Asian actor. Trying to have your own opinion on your understanding in acting and art in general. Don't be affected by those media's mainstreams or other people's different voice to discourage you. Your opinion matters. Yeah. So yeah, I think these 2 points. You should be good in a Western world as an Asian actor.
Coming back for his second time on the virtual cafe, we have our previous host, Harim Patel.
What's up? How you doing, Oscar? It's good to be back.
What's good, Harim? Good to see you again, man. I mean, sorry we couldn't work in the virtual cafe together, but hey, this is like this is like our break room in the back right now. We're just gonna talk about different dope things about the industry, right?
Yeah, definitely, man. Most def.
Is your ethnicity that you identify as? What do you like to refer to yourself as regarding specifically your race or your ethnicity?
So my parents they're from India, so I'm Indian, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I got no other bloodline going.
But there's Bollywood is a very big producer of films in the world, and
it's the largest.
Yeah, it's the largest in the world, not one of the biggest. It is the biggest.
Yeah.
And then that has like a little brother. I think you might know it's called Hollywood. So I'll just but Hollywood is a lot more prominent in American culture. So I just wanted to ask you, like, what are some roles or stories that you would like to either see, Indians or AAPI being represented in more of like a Hollywood scenario?
It would be so cool to see like an Indian person play Captain America. I mean, Captain America doesn't, fall into just Caucasian people. America is a huge melting pot of different cultures and people from different backgrounds. So yeah, I think it would be great to see AAPI people in superhero movies.
Harim, thank you for being here with us. You're freaking awesome, dude. All right. Well, Harim, better than me. You're swell. You're well. You're super well. Anyways. Yeah, those are just some interviews we had. They're pretty cool. Once again, first, Natalie Jane's photography is phenomenal. She is currently all booked up in the Bay Area, but she'll be going to New York. So if you happen to be in New York, hit up her social media, Natalie Jane Photography, or check her out her website, all that great stuff. Vang is doing some amazing work. He talked at Michigan. He talked at Harvard, CNN. He wrote an op-ed piece for NBC. Check his work out too. He's doing amazing things. and then followed by Rishi. I think they plugged it a little bit, but I was able to work with Illuminably, and we're actually doing a Stop the AAPI short piece. So keep your eyes out for that as well. These interviews are awesome because it just shows so many different sides and so many different ways that we can represent. And the last two guys, those are both VMedia guys, and VMedia is what puts on the virtual cafe, and we're like close to 90% Asian represented. So we got to keep on, like, if it wasn't for VmediArts, I would have a lot less of an education on how AAPIs are not being represented in the entertainment business. So I appreciate Vince and the VMedia crew for putting on such great stuff and representation. I'm actually wearing a shirt right now from Oaklandish, and I've worn Oaklandish my entire life basically, and I love Oaklandish. And they actually, for the first time like ever wearing their stuff, I feel my identity is being represented by them. So I just want to shout them out. They have a Japanese inspired, this is kaiju, which is like essentially like a Godzilla. It says Oakland over here on the side. And it also has a nice little kaiju attack happening on the Bay Area, specifically Lake Merritt and like Grand Lake Theater. Anyways, it's amazing what can happen when we feel represented, and it's amazing what it can do for our confidence. It's amazing what we can do for our communities. So it's good to listen to different perspectives from people from all around the world, because we need to constantly work to be more inclusive for more people. And I'm so happy we've had such a great night tonight. We're not done yet. We're almost done. But we have this last group of guys. Yeah, four, or actually not guys. One of them identifies as they, them, there. So we have a nice last group of people who are singing, who have performed in virtual cafes in the past. We're going to close off the show. So thank you for staying with us for this great show. And we're about to end strong, everybody. Can't wait to see these last four people. Let's do this. Oh, goodness. I'm still on screen. But I will not be soon, because we're going to start up with our boy, Zaya Kolia, who is next. And yeah, there he is.
And now the end is near, and so I face the final curtain. My friend, I'll say it clear, I'll state my case, of which I'm certain. I've lived a life that's full. I traveled each and every highway, and more, much more than this, I did it my way. Regrets, I've had a few, but then again, too few to mention. I did what I had to do and saw it through without exemption. I've planned each charted course, each careful step along the byway, and more, much more than this, I did it my way. Yes, there were times, I'm sure you knew, when I bit off more than I could chew. But through it all, when there was doubt, I ate it up and spit it out. I faced it all, and I stood tall and did it my way. I've loved, I've laughed and cried, I've had my fill, my share of losing. And now, as tears subside, I find it all so amusing to think I did all that, and may I say, not in a shy way. Oh no, not me. I did it my way. For what is a man? What has he got? If not himself, then he has not to say the things he truly feels, and not the words of one who kneels. The record shows I took the blows and did it my Yes, it was my way.
I don't want to go along with the crowd. Don't want to live life under a cloud. Give me some air and space and the sun on my face. I want to live out loud. Don't want to be alone in the crowd. Don't want to seem peculiar and proud. I need to be as free as I know how to be. I want to live out loud. Every day, sleepwalk, lockstep, no one dares to stray. Though they may, straight-laced, shamefaced, long to break away. They're as lonely as can be. Isn't what they want from me. I don't want to go along with the crowd. Don't want to live life under a cloud. Give me some air and space and the sun on my face. I want to live out loud. Don't want to be alone in the crowd. Don't want to seem peculiar and proud. Nobody wants me here, but I won't disappear. I want to live out loud. I want to run down an open shoreline. I want to join in the moonlit dance. I want to swing from the branches of a tree. I want to bathe in the hidden inlets and let the breeze come and dry my hair. I want the life they took away from me. If it makes me headstrong, fine. That's a fault I'm glad is mine. I don't want to go along with the crowd. Don't want my spirits broken and bowed. Why do I have to hide what I'm feeling inside? I want to live out loud. I don't want to go along with the crowd. Don't want to seem peculiar and proud. Give me the wings of a bird. I'll be seen and be heard. I want to sing when my heart is full. I want to sing and I want to fly. I want to soar the sky without a cloud. I want to live out loud.
Proud of your boy, I'll make you proud of your boy. Believe me, bad as I've been, Ma, you're in for a pleasant surprise. I've wasted time, I've wasted me. So say I'm slow for my age, a late bloomer. Okay, I agree that I've been one rotten kid. Some sun, some pride, and some joy. But I'll get over these lousing up, messing up, screwing up times. You'll see, Ma, now comes the better part. Someone's gonna make good cross his stupid heart. Make good and finally make you proud of your boy. Tell me that I've been a louse and a loafer. You won't get a fight here, no ma'am. Say I'm a gold brick, a goof off, no good, but that couldn't be all that I am. Water flows under the bridge, let it pass, let it go. There's no good reason that you should believe me, not yet. I know, but someday and soon I'll make you proud of your boy. So don't look back, 'cause that boy that you knew isn't there anymore. And Mom, those plans that you had for me, I'll make sure they happen, I guarantee. Mom, I will try hard to make you proud of your boy.
There are two men out, and it's in the night, and the score is 4-3. There's a man on first, and a man at bat, and the man at bat is me. And I'm sorta scared, and I'm sorta proud, and I'm stronger than I seem. And I take a swing, and my dad is there, and it's what you'd call a dream. For the ball flies in the sun, and it sails off as I run. The crowd is roaring, cheering as I go. So are all the guys on the team. And I run for home, and we win the game. And it's what you'd call a dream. And the sun shines like diamonds. The summer sun shines like diamonds. The summer sun high in a baseball sky shines like diamonds. And the sun shines like diamonds. There are two men now, man at back is me, and it's what you call a dream.
Ladies and gentlemen, Oscar Tsukayama.
Who was that guy, man? I don't know. It said Oscar Tomosada. But Oscar Tomosada Tsukayama. If everybody really wants to go back and like go to that part, it says Oscar Tomosada in big font. Then it says my last name in super little font. So for any of those nerds out there who really want to like see that was there. But yeah, that's wow, Japoi. That's the show.
Man,
right?
I can't believe it. 3 hours and 20 minutes. We made it.
We're done.
We're done. That's it.
All right. Well, yeah. The performers were awesome. The audience was phenomenal. We couldn't exactly hear you, but you guys were commenting like crazy. So I hope like the virtual theater aspect, it allows you to do, hit up your best friends while they're performing, which usually doesn't happen in theater. So hey, virtual theater 1 right there. Come on. And yeah. I think also there's films, there were movies, there's phenomenal singing. Yeah, and live
performance.
That was a phenomenal live performance from Bake the Musical. Wow. Live interviews, pre-recorded interviews. What didn't we have? We didn't have live actual theater, but we came as close as we possibly could. And that is on big part because of this guy. Japoi, he organized everything. He got all these artists together, mushed them together, organized them, and we created a phenomenal night like this. So literally, this couldn't have been done without this guy right here. Everyone, come on.
Thank you. Man, when the creativity hits you, it just flows, and with the help from everyone from our community, no questions asked, they're willing to help out, put in some time in order to perform. Even though it's virtual, they were 100% effort into producing all these marvelous pieces of work. And we're all doing this to amplify our voices, to show the world that we can act, we can sing, we can be whoever we want to be, and we can share our stories in any platform.
Exactly. Oh, and yeah, well, yeah, I think on this note, we hope the next time that we get out of a performance like this, it'll actually be in a live theater. And, I hope you guys just have a phenomenal May, Asian Pacific Islander, Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month, aka Appreciation Month. But I think as June usually says in our close-offs, it's like, make sure to wear a mask, watch local theater, and we'll see you next time at the Virtual Cafe.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody.
And before we leave, again, for those of you who can volunteer, please visit sfbec.org or call 415-255-2358. Every Thursday, we do food packing to be delivered to our community, and we also need drivers to bring those food to especially our senior citizen. Thank you again, everyone, for your time, for your help, for your support, and we'll see you on the next cafe.
See you next time.
Thank you.